Feds reportedly sent a subpoena for Hunter Biden's bank records more than a year before the 2020 election. That's according to the nonprofit anti-corruption group Marco Polo that was started by a former Trump administration official. The subpoena asked J.P. Morgan Chase for records of international financial transactions and specifically mentioned the Bank of China. Hunter Biden announced that he had just learned that the feds were investigating his taxes after the election and said that he handled them, quote, legally and appropriately. Fox Nation did an investigation of its own for the new special, Who is Hunter Biden? Available now.
Every famous, infamous, international person who came to Washington, D.C. and met with his father, Hunter, generally got an introduction.
Foreign oligarchs and foreign governments are currying favor and getting favors from the most powerful family in America, which is the Bidens.
Let's bring in the New York Post columnist Miranda Devine, featured in that clip. She's also the author of Laptop from Hell, Hunter Biden, Big Tech, and the Dirty Secrets the President Tried to Hide. Miranda, good to have you with us today. You've done, obviously, a tremendous amount of digging through this laptop, which I can imagine at times was not the most delightful thing to encounter. But here's one more clip from this Fox Nation piece by Peter Schweitzer that sets this up. Let's watch.
In 2010 and 2011, Hunter Biden starts taking trips to Beijing, China.
After one trip, Hunter enthusiastically emailed his Chinese host.
You are the best. Just give me my marching orders.
So, Miranda, what do we know here about actual money that changed hands or influence that was curried because of these relationships?
Well, we know a lot, and it's not just from the laptop. It's also from the information that Tony Bobulinski, who was Hunter Biden's former business partner, handed over to the FBI, also gave to me. And then also we know a lot of financial information, thanks to Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson, who conducted a pretty thorough investigation into at least one aspect of this corruption involving the Ukrainian energy company Burisma and Hunter Biden. So in terms of quantifying the money, it's quite difficult. I mean, it's tens of millions of dollars. But in one sense, we don't know, for instance, how much Hunter Biden's 10% share of a Chinese equity fund was worth. We know that it had $2.5 billion worth of funds under management in 2019. How that translates, we know it's tens of millions of dollars. And we also know he received $4.5 million from Burisma in these board fees. We know he got money from Romania, from Russia, from Kazakhstan. The financial trail is what is interesting, and that is why the story that we published on Monday this week about a subpoena that went out to J.P. Morgan Chase Bank from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware back in May of 2019, that is significant because it was looking for bank records of Hunter Biden, his uncle Jim Biden, who is Joe Biden's younger brother, who is also involved in this influence peddling scheme, and also Hunter Biden's business partners, Devon Archer and Eric Schwerin. So we know that just weeks after Joe Biden launched his presidential campaign in 2019, there was a grand jury impaneled that was looking into this shady deal, so or many deals. So we don't know. We know that that investigation was paused just before the election, and we're assuming that it happened again. It's still going. That's all we know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking back to the New York Post and the stories that were in the Post around before the election that were blocked off of social media. And it's unbelievable how blocked this story was. You've been digging on it throughout the entire time. The New York Times is now also digging in very deep on this story as well. And I got to go, but I just would encourage everybody to watch this special, watch the interviews with you in it. The other salacious nature of all of his activities just makes this more complicated because he's off the rails and he's dealing with foreign governments. And his father is, handling political relationships with them as well. So, Miranda, thank you very much. I hope everybody checks it out in your book as well, Laptop from Hell.
Thanks, Martha.
Fascinating stuff. Miranda, thank you so much.